Hello, everyone from one of the quarantine centrals. Yay! So, I fortunately can still do these sessions for you and help you work on your marketing strategy for when all of this is settled and over with, hopefully sooner rather than later. So, let's talk about, well, first of all, what we've gone over so far. If you haven't seen the first four sessions, first three sessions, this is the fourth, then please do go back and check out those topics on evolving marketing and evaluating your competitors and how to do that with your strategy, and then how to determine your branding and exactly what that should look like and include. And feel free to post your questions on those as well as today's if you have any, and I'll be happy to answer those as well. So today is on creating content and what exactly that looks like, what you need to do, how you need to do it, what kind of approach you should take. So to get started today, when planning your content, the first and foremost, always important is your audience. You want to be able to talk about what exactly they care about. You know, what's their pain point? What is the thing that the problem that you're solving? What is helpful about what it is that your product or service provides? What is something that other people would rave about? What is it about your product or service that makes people excited or want to tell people about it? Use that. Talk about that. If you're talking about your content, or excuse me, about your products. The catch with that is that when you do create your content and you start posting on anything like blogs, social media, emails, anything like that, especially social media, you want to make sure that you have kind of an 80-20 rule of posting salesy kind of talk about your business, talk about what you're selling type of content versus value add. If you add the value 8 times out of 10 and then throw in, hey, by the way, this is how we help you, that 80-20 rule will help you maintain the balance with your people. Your followers don't want to see you posting necessarily, hey, buy our stuff every single day. Might get old. I don't know. Depends on your followers. But make sure that you do actually track what your followers are liking. If you pop in, say hi. If you want to ask any questions, feel free. So all this means is that if you try and stick to an 80-20 rule of posting sales type content versus value add, you will maintain a good relationship with your followers. Now, for research, if you want to create content and you don't know what to do, then you'll have to do some research. You'll have to figure out what exactly you need to post, what's relevant in the industry, what people actually need, what they care about, what they want to see. So doing some research will help you a lot in not only giving you some ideas, but providing the information that people actually need right now. So use tools. There's a lot of tools online that you can use that provide you different keyword research type of tools. And these things are actually Google Ads and Google Keyword Console, those types of things. Those all actually help you with keyword research. So if you type in a topic that you know that your business is wants to talk about, then it will give you a whole list of all these different types of questions that people put into Google, keyword phrases. So for example, if you want to sell paintings and you type in paintings, you'll get a whole list of different types of keywords that are related or people that ask questions about it. And it'll pull up things like art, paintings, how to buy paintings, how to create a painting, and you can learn all about what it is that people are searching. So use tools like Google Keyword and things like Sleek Note and Ubersuggest, which of course is by Neil Patel, who is the SEO guru, and he'll be able to show you as much as you ever could possibly want about SEO and keyword searches. So those things will give you some great ideas for your content. So use particular types of research tools to do that on your end. And then you can also ask your audience what they want to know. So I'm asking you, if you have any questions, post them on the chat here, and I'll be happy to answer them. So let me know if you have any questions. That's my research, and that is actually just how I'm going to add value for you in this particular session. So otherwise, you can also send surveys. You can send just an email and say, hey, if you have any issues or any questions, let me know. You could verbally ask them if you hold in-person events. You can actually say, hey, what do you need? What do you like to see? What's concerning you right now about this particular industry? So actually ask your audience. The next thing you can do is check out your competitors. See what it is they're doing. See what they're writing about and what you may be able to improve upon or add more value to. For example, if your competitor has written an article that's just top 5 tips, and it's a fairly short article and just, covers the basics. What you can do is you can take that idea, turn it into something that is relevant to your business and upholds the actual values and branding that you have set out to expand upon it. So instead of top 5, it can be everything you need to know, or go into depth on the top 5 tips that you recommend. So it's probably not going to be the same. It might just be the same idea, but go along with what competitors are writing, because that's probably what people are actually looking for and engaging with. Or on that note, find out what they're engaging with in social media. Find out what types of things that people are commenting on and liking and questioning, and look at the questions and talk to people. All of this might take a little bit of time, but that's going to apply your research to creating great content that people actually want to read and share. They'll think it's very valuable and want to share it with other people that can benefit from it as well. So that's exactly what you want, is to provide that value and show yourself as the leader in that particular industry. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is create a strategy. So around all of this research that you're going to do, create a plan. Don't just throw it out there all in one day and say, oh, I'm done. I'm done for the year. I created 10 things and now it's all out there. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but it's there, and that's my strategy. You actually want to set something up that tells you, okay, this is going to happen, and then this, and then this, and this is why, and then we'll reevaluate on a certain timeline. So don't just create to create. Don't just say, I feel like talking about this today. No one cares. Sorry, no one really cares whether or not you like what's going on in the industry. Right? No one cares. They want to know what's in it for them. They want to know how they can help them, and what exactly you can provide for them to improve their business or improve their lives, whatever it may be. So design a schedule around the research that you've done. So you've got a whole list of things that people want to know something about. Develop a kind of calendar or schedule to say, okay, first I'm going to talk about this. This is more relevant today or next week than it will be in the fall. So I'm going to write about this right now. Design a schedule of these topics to cover throughout a calendar year. So, and it doesn't have to be the full year. don't mean to scare you, but you want to probably do at least a quarter. A month is a fantastic start, but set up a quarter's worth of content topics that you're going to talk about. It may be, you know, the title of a blog you want to write, or topics on social media you want to post. And this can be your editorial calendar. This can be exactly what you go to on a weekly basis to say, okay, this is what needs to be created for next week. And you write something short about it, something long about it, whatever it may be. However, the differentiation you create for this content will go. So if you have a strategy, you want to try and stagger things a bit. So if you have, let's say you're Nike, just because it's easy, and you want to talk about your new launch of shoe today, you're going to do that on Monday, but Tuesday, you're going to talk about this particular athlete and you're going to have an interview on them. Wednesday, you're going to have an article on, let's say, LinkedIn. They have a native LinkedIn article post. You want to post just that about running. So just make sure you spread out your topics throughout the calendar year, ultimately, but throughout the month, so that you have a plan, so that it's not just thrown out there. So if you have something like it's National Running Week and you want to talk about running every single day, that's a point, that's a purpose, there's a strategy around that. You're going to create a post about it, and then you're going to create a blog about it, and then you're going to use someone's video review about running or whatever. It's a whole week, but it's a strategy created around it. So just make sure to plan it out so that you know this is what I'm talking about this week and this month, and this is where it's going to go. So creating the content doesn't just mean writing it and throwing it out. It has to be relevant to the people that you're talking to. And again, always make sure that it goes back to the people that you want to help. So your target audience is going to be your main, goal, is that you want to help those people. So if I need to talk to executives and I am posting on TikTok, maybe I didn't do my research enough to find out that there's not a lot of executives on TikTok. So just find out what works best for you and your audience and your brand, and work from that and create the strategy from that. And then you can use all of that research that you just did to incorporate into your plan. So use the keywords, use the strategy, use the content that you created, and parse it out. One of the biggest things that people forget, in fact, I've forgotten sometimes, but is to use one piece of content in multiple different ways. And Maggie Gielli has talked about this as well. She's an amazing marketing specialist, and many people have mentioned it in the past, but sometimes we forget, sometimes we haven't done it, sometimes we don't know. So I'm going to explain just briefly. All this means is create one thing and use it in 3 different ways. Strategically place these things in the right place at the right time, typically spread out in different places, different platforms, things like that, so that you don't have to recreate content all the time. So this allows you to say, okay, I've created this blog that's 20 pages long and it's got a ton of content. Well, now what? Now it's on my website and now no one sees it anymore because I have posted it and now it's just there. Well, did you share it? Did you create a video out of it? Did you post it on social media? Did you create a Instagram carousel out of it? Did you have someone else share it? Did you combine the content with another person and say, let's talk about this particular thing? So whatever it is, use this content that you've created and use it in different ways so that you don't have to do the same thing or create multiple different types of things over and over and over again. You can use one thing or one topic and spread it out. So that would be one of my biggest tips, is actually make sure that you don't reinvent the wheel all the time. So if you've created one fantastic long piece of content, maybe a 20-minute video, and it's all really great stuff, it's all, tip after explanation after, interview, whatever it is, use that in different ways. So podcasts also have a transcript most of the times for their podcasts. Use that content to create a blog out of it. Say this was an interview, and make sure you fix it up so that it looks like an interview, like a blog, like that, so that it's more readable. But use that content in more places. You don't have to constantly be recreating and creating new things in new places. And write things down. If you get an idea, just write a little topic idea. Maybe I can create this content. Maybe this is relevant to people. And maybe it'll help out a number of different people in a number of different ways. Maybe I'll get questions from this particular topic. Maybe I just post a question on social media. That's kind of creating content as a starter. I mean, that's building up your research and your engagement, so that you're able to actually create more content that's more relevant and more applicable and more valuable to the people that want to see it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them over. But those are my tips for today for creating great content. And if you need anything, if you want to contact me, again, my name is Jennifer Nunez with Growth Empowered Marketing Services. And next week I'll be back with marketing multitasking. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you then.